Hey folks, and welcome to the Daily Ratings Weekly Movie News Podcast. This week's news brought to you by the city that invented film. Yes, well, it looks like we have another Cannes or Cannes winner. After 2 weeks and a lot of movies shown at the Cannes Film Festival, the jury has awarded the film Fjord with the highest prize, the Palme d'Or. Fjord was directed by Christian Mungiu. It stars Sebastian Stan and Renatu Rensva. It's about a Romanian-Norwegian conservative couple that face scrutiny after moving to the wife's progressive remote Norwegian hometown. It's 2.5 hours long, and also it's produced by Neon, which it now makes the 7th year in a row that studio has walked away with the Palme d'Or, so they really know how to pick them there. People say Sebastian Stan is very good in it, and it kind of takes the Anatomy of a Fall, Sandra Hüller kind of Scandinavian slot this year at Cannes. It will be getting a U.S. release, so we'll wait to see when and how big that release is. Other notable films are second place winner Minotaur, a political thriller by director Andrei Zvyagintsev, a Russian director who has garnered a lot of different Cannes awards over the years, and a slew of other films that maybe we'll talk about if they come around to a major release in the States. One film that I had my eye on was a movie called Paper Tiger. This was the only U.S. film accepted in the award slate of films. It's directed by James Gray, who previously directed The Lost City of Z and Ad Astra, among others. It's about two East Coast brothers who pursue the American dream but get entangled in a Russian mafia scheme that terrorizes their family. It stars Adam Driver, Miles Teller, and the lovely Scarlett Johansson. It's also getting good reviews. No awards, but that's okay. So anyway, look around the Cannes slate if you're interested. Put your 2 cents in if you'd like Vin Daly to cover some through the year. Overall, it's just a lot of movies shown, and even though the festival is over, it's still a lot that I would like to see go through the wash one more time. You know, there are films shown at the festival, not really part of any competition. Then there's like a second-tier competition structure for like the Grand Prix and jury prize, and then there's the specialty awards given out, and then of course the main competition and films eligible for the Palme d'Or. I mean, what award show would confuse people with some specialty awards, you know? Anyway, another year, another Cannes, and Fjord takes the Palme d'Or. A little update on Chris Nolan's The Odyssey. I'm really staying away from all the talk, all the trailers, and mostly all the news on this one. That's why I've been quiet about it for basically the past year on the news. But since we were talking about the duration of the film a couple weeks ago, we finally have an answer to that. I had heard that the film was definitely going to be under 3 hours, so I made the theory that if it's 2.5 hours and under, Nolan might be giving us a part 1 on this. But now AMC has established that Chris Nolan's The Odyssey will in fact be under 3 hours, but it's going to be 2 hours and 52 minutes. So it sounds like Chris has the whole epic in there for us, so make sure to go to the bathroom before the film starts, ladies and gentlemen. Director Nia DaCosta has her next film in motion. DaCosta was in not such good graces after making The Marvels for the MCU, but then had some redemption, at least in Vin Daly's eyes, with this year's 28 years later, The Bone Temple. Nia is now set to direct a thriller kind of generically called Driver. This stars Mahershala Ali as a hardened Nigerian smuggler who takes on one last job to transport migrants across Africa while being pursued by ruthless enemies. So it does sound pretty good. We'll give DaCosta another shot. Filming starts in early 2027, so we probably won't get this film for another year and a half at the earliest. And then, folks, don't let a good American military operation go to waste, and do not waste time on making it either. Universal Pictures has grabbed the pyrotechnic man himself, Michael Bay, to make a movie on the downed pilot over Iran during Operation Epic Fury. Yes, it feels like it was only 2 months ago that happened, because indeed, it occurred less than 2 months ago. And Michael Bay is already putting his order in for his fireworks he'll need for the film. So things do really move fast these days, but I guess Universal needed to jump on it before Clint Eastwood scooped it up and released it this year, probably the way he shoots. Anyway, it's truly an impressive operation. I mean, I think we all know the main story, with it being so fresh, but to reiterate, an F-15E Strike Eagle was shot down over hostile territory in Iran over the Zagros Mountains. The pilot and then the weapons system officer were retrieved in a very risky and very impressive recovery in enemy territory. The film is going to be adapted from the book about it. And no, not a book that's out now, but a book by Mitchell Zuckoff that will be releasing in 2027. So they're kind of being made in tandem together. But anyway, not that the story isn't movie-worthy, but it is quick. And I mean, Michael Bay, again, for one of these, he makes relatively serviceable films at times with some of his stuff. I mean, not Ambulance from 2022, but 13 hours, it gets the job done. He might just be a little generic pick for this. I kind of wish we just had, a Catherine Bigelow directing or something. But I'm not Universal, so get ready. The Bayhem will be meeting Epic Fury in a theater near you. And then with that, let's jump on over to the box office for this past weekend, because news was a little short with it being a holiday weekend and such. But the fifth highest grossing film this weekend was still The Sheep Detectives, and that pulled in $9.2 million. That film's just kind of been hanging on. We then have The Devil Wears Prada 2 making $12.7 million. Michael making $20.7 million. The second highest grossing of the weekend was that horror film we covered last week, Obsession, making a very good $23.9 million for its second weekend. And then, of course, the big one of Memorial Day weekend was, of course, Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Grogu. So that brought in $81 million. And then if you extend that for the holiday Monday as well, that made just over $100 million, which actually for that film turned out pretty well. By the way, The Devil Wears Prada just is over $600 million worldwide, and Michael is now at $788 million worldwide. So very good for that. And then, of course, we'll see what Mando can do in the coming weeks. But coming up this Thursday, Vincent Daly will be watching, rating, and reviewing. We have our final Hitchcock film as our study comes to an end. It's 1960's Psycho. We then have newly released I Love Boosters by Boots Riley. And then finally, of course, Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Grogu, directed by Jon Favreau. But that's it for your weekly movie news. We'll leave you today with a quote from a director, Michael Bay. Quentin Tarantino called me once. Somebody had written, "Is Michael Bay the devil?" And Quentin said, "Don't worry. Last year, they called me the Antichrist." And all right, folks, the Daily Ratings weekly movie news podcast, that was it. See you on Thursday.